Principal Diane speaks really highly of you both and what you've been taught and learned over the last couple of years, so we look to be inspired also. My name is Nicole Lewis and this is Dylan Marshall, and we are both honoured to speak at this ceremony on behalf of the graduating teachers.
Congratulations to everyone.
Like everyone here, we have had the most amazing 2 years. We're thrilled to have made it through our BT years, alive, smiling and still swimming, not sinking. We are lucky to have found our niche in a profession that we all love. If you look back in time, it is clear to see how far the teaching profession has progressed. Let's take a moment to go back in time to 1915, in an era where there were no men in teaching, and women were expected to uphold strict rules of conduct. Teaching was a woman's profession that not only involved teaching, but also keeping the classroom neat and tidy by sweeping the floor once a day, scrubbing the floors once a week, cleaning the blackboards, and lighting the fire by 7 a.m. These rules continued and varied from the length and colour of dress, not being allowed to travel anywhere without permission from the chairman of the board, not being able to ride in a carriage or automobile with any man unless he was your father or brother, and even being forbidden to loiter in ice cream stores. What a contrast to the world of teaching today.
Yes, thank goodness times have changed, and the teaching profession along with it. This means that not only I, as a male, could thankfully pursue this career, but also we as educationalists are far more equipped for the 21st century child, who will enter an adult world with careers that didn't even exist when they first entered kindergarten. In a technological age, where rapid rise in innovation has opened up what has seemed impossible only a few years ago, our young people are exposed to a global world right at their fingertips, with opportunities to interact with learners on the other side of the globe, and to travel so easily to far-off lands, when they've earned the money. As young adults ourselves, this experience is not too far from our own, and we can see the benefits of such an authentic and engaging learning environment. Yet what about the generations before us? Here is a quote from an elderly lady from Gail Loan's I've Got Something to Say. Young people these days, they definitely live in a different world from the one I grew up in. No one rides ponies to school anymore like we did when I was a child. My son takes his children to school in the car, and their college isn't even a mile away. But what I can't get over is so many of them have phones, tiny phones that fit in their pocket. My great-grandson's phone plays music, sends messages, and is a camera too. All that in his pocket. Imagine trying to fit our old phone in our pocket. It was nearly as big as a microwave and wired into the wall. Even our camera was bigger than 2 packets of butter. Yes, the world is definitely getting smaller. So what exactly does it look like in today's schools? And how can we really be effective teachers who cater for this next generation that live in such a small world? In the last 2 years, I've already seen children from more than 20 ethnicities walking through my classroom door. And this is representative of modern New Zealand.
We are lucky to teach in New Zealand, where our curriculum values creativity and gives us scope to work with our students on more than just an academic level. For example, school productions and taking social action as a result of learning. As educators in New Zealand, we are encouraged and challenged to inspire our students to greater heights, succeed in sports, cultural activities and the arts. We want our students to have a social conscience. We teach in a world that allows students time and space to choose what they want to do. Their choices allow them to illuminate their individual strengths. William Arthur Ward's quote regarding what it means to be a good teacher sums it up perfectly. The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. Our classrooms reflect a learner-driven environment where this kind of inspiring teaching can take place. Our role as teachers is simply not to fill students with knowledge, but rather to engage their curiosity so they find out for themselves and become inquisitive and independent learners.
Our role as teachers is also not simply to build good rapport with our students either. This is a misconception that I held for some time and has taken me a while to adjust. good rapport can create the foundations for a safe learning environment for students to acquire and test their knowledge. Yet, good rapport without a vision of student potential and a commitment to help them reach their potential through thoughtful planning and having high expectations has little meaning and is unsatisfying. It is a timely reminder that teaching is a profession, and as professionals, we accept a lot of responsibility. One of my associate teachers, through my training, joked that at any given time, a teacher must even take on the roles of an accountant, a nurse, a counsellor, and the list went on. It's so true. These responsibilities have never been a bad thing to live up to. They are what makes going to school challenging, yes, but worthwhile and satisfying too. This year, I was fortunate enough to be trusted with the direction of our school's musical. We chose to use this opportunity to harness the enthusiasm of our student body. It became a challenging balancing act of responsibilities for a beginning teacher, first and foremost to my class, and then to the 100 or so students rehearsing and preparing for our show. One of the most nerve-wracking moments of the whole experience for me, even after a year of rehearsals, was sitting backstage to help with stage management for one performance night. It was also the biggest eye-opener. I saw students 10 to 12 years old motivating and congratulating one another, taking responsibility for themselves, communicating appropriately with adults and peers, being led and being leaders, carrying out complex roles without relying on teachers or adults. It was all running like clockwork. Not mechanical, but precise. It became clear in that context that children in our schools aren't robots that simply make progressions in maths, reading and writing. These same children show outstanding talents and potential in a wide range of areas, and it is fascinating to feel a part of these students' holistic well-being and development. The students will never forget their success in the intermediate musical and other school-based activities, and that's what it's about, making memories and maybe opening doors. Diamond White and Carly Rose Sonic-Claire, contestants in X Factor USA, have both shown that even 13-year-olds have the ability to be in contention for $5 million on a world stage. That's only 2 years older at the most than the students Nicole and I both teach. There is really nothing stopping our students from reaching such success. And there is no telling what our dedication as teachers could lead to in the near future or far.
As we reflect on our journey as BTs, we will remember experiencing a range of emotions. The memories come flooding back. The nervousness of walking into the staff room on the first teacher-only day, the anticipation of meeting our class for the first time and feeling a sea of observant eyes watching our every move, writing our first set of reports, parent meetings, class trips, and the first challenging parent. On top of this, school really does become your second family. Our BT years have been 2 years of excitement, experimenting, finding our ground, but most importantly, one of learning. We have been guided and encouraged to find our flair and individuality, just as we encourage our own students to do. All of us here have a lot of people to thank, and we will be showing our gratitude individually. But to our tutor teachers who have been our guiding lights, our colleagues for sharing their wealth of knowledge and experiences and being that voice of reason, and to our principals for giving us wonderful opportunities and having faith in us. Thank you for everything you have done and supporting us in these last 2 years.
As I said before, fear not the quality of teaching going on in New Zealand classrooms. Well done to Nicole and Dylan.